Hello, I'm Cody from Keeping Score Games, and today we're taking a look at Abduction from Very Special Games Co. So, the first thing I have to say about this is this was given to us for the purposes of review by Very Special Games Co. And Abduction also came with its little expansion for the Intergalactic Duck Research expansion. And what that means is you get access to extra ducks and extra challenges in the form of these purple cards. So let me go over real quick what the game is, how it's played, and then I'll tell you what I thought about it, and I'll say a little bit on Elizabeth's behalf because she is very, very busy this time of year with work. So I am filling in on these reviews for her. She may come back and shoot some footage later. First and foremost, the thing you'll notice is this UFO, which is just awesome. It's a rubber UFO that acts like a bag in any other game, when it tells you to gather a resource or something. And this bag, this UFO is just really cute, and it's full of little hard plastic ducks. They're adorable, and they come in a bunch of different colors. But you'll notice a few things that are on the table with it. Now that we've seen the boxes, I'll get those out of the way so we can kind of look at everybody's play field here. Wolfric, good morning. How are you, buddy? Don't mind the kitty. So everybody's going to have 10 ducks on their board. And there's a board in the middle left over currently that has 2 more ducks on it. And this one has 2 ducks on it as well. This board has been gathered by this player, and this board over here, which, Wolfie, you got to go. This sideboard here also has this player has an extra board that they've gathered. So the reason that matters is for the expansion. They will have these purple cards that are shapes outside of 2 rows. So, starting from the beginning, what you'll do is you'll randomly grab 10 ducks out of here. You'll put them on your little route, intergalactic pond, for instance. It's got 10 spaces on it, and you have to follow it as you remove ducks, and they'll go through it as you grab more ducks. So the goal of the game is you have these cards here, which allow you to take actions. Some of them might be moving ducks. Some of them might be removing ducks from your opponent's boards. Some of them might just be swapping ducks from their board to yours, and various other actions. And those silly actions all have silly names, like dub abduction, or shapeshifter, or I've got one in here called orbit, which allows you to rotate any square group of 4 ducks on your board clockwise. And the reason you want to do things like that is these are patterns up here. So the blue card right here says you have to have 5 same colored ducks in this shape and orientation. So it wants you to have your ducks in a row. They have to be one color, though, which, as you can see, nobody's board can do right now. There's one called padding, which is 4 ducks of all different colors in a straight line. And then the one that's out for the expansion is called dodo foot, and it's 5 of the same color ducks in this shape and orientation. So normally you can only do shapes that are in lines, or 2s, or squares, things like that, because there's only the 10 ducks. When you buy this little board with the 2 extra ducks on it, that you attach to your pathway wherever you like in order to meet these shapes up here for the larger scoring cards. And that's really all the expansion does, is just add in that little twist of having these modular boards that you can attach to get special shapes that are outside of the norm. So you'll do this until you win the game, and until you run out of the 12 formation cards that you've built this little deck out of right here. My apologies for that. So, you would take a turn, and so I've got on my board, do I have 4 ducks? I do. So I can pull off padding, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 different colored ducks. Those will go back into the UFO. They've been abducted again. You see the joke now, right? And I get to collect this scorecard. Another scorecard will come out, and then the next person's turn will come along. But before then, at the end of my turn, I have to draw new ducks. So you've got to draw 4 ducks out of the UFO. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then they would play, and they're going to look and see, do I have anything? They don't. But they can remove ducks from somebody else's board, or they have the option to rearrange the order of a straight line of 3 ducks on their board. So they'll play that so they can rearrange this line here. Now that gets them one step closer to what they need, because they do have 3 of one color there, and this one doesn't work yet. So let's see if they've got the dodo foot. All the same color? Nope. Do they have a flock party? No, not quite. So they'll draw back up to their action card limit, and they would pass their turn once they've played their cards. And then this player's going to take their turn, and they have a swap and an abduction. So it looks like they don't have a clear path to win, but they do. So they can play swap, or they can play abduction. What they would want to do is they're going to play abduction on an opponent. So that won't help them either. That's only on an opponent. But what abduction would do is they would take one of my ducks and then move everything down the row, and then I would refill. So that's what you're doing. You're manipulating each other's and your boards in order to make these patterns to score the most points by the end of the game. The question is it any fun? Well, I'm not going to lie. The take that nature and the ease of learning is super fun. It just didn't take long to teach to anybody. We were all laughing when we did it, especially when we messed with the other players, which in this case happened to be family on Thanksgiving. It was hilarious. A lot of that comes down to theme and how cute and funny it is, and how awesome it just feels to grab a big UFO full of ducks and find some random ones out of it. It's a lot of fun. Is it terribly complicated? No. Is it super unique? The theme, certainly. And the presentation, probably pretty unique. But as a gameplay mechanism, it's not the most novel thing ever invented. But darn if it hasn't been implemented in a really good way. The components, I love the plastic ducks. They're adorable, they're durable, they're cute. And they look good on the table. I love this UFO. The cards are nice. They're thick and glossy. They're not linen printed or anything like that, so they're not super deluxe or anything, but they're nice, and the stock is good, so they'll hold up well. The expansion came with my copy of the game that was sent to me. You can get copies of the game with the expansion included, both off of their website, Very Special Games, or off other retailers like Amazon, etc. The expansion doesn't add a huge amount to the game, but it does add enough that I probably won't play without it, simply because it's just another little piece of complexity and mechanic depth that the game almost needs. And it gives an extra bit of challenge, which is always nice. Kids loved it. We played with kids. We played with our cousins. We played with, various members of the family. It was a blast. I've played it with 2 players with Elizabeth. We had a lot of fun that way too. The more players, the merrier, I think, though, because the take that mechanics really sing when people are just, oh, I'm going to randomly steal your ducks. I ain't even done anything to you this game. That kind of thing. You love it. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's priced well. The components are nice. It has a cool table presence. And it's novel and fun from the presentation standpoint. I totally recommend this. I give this an 8. I'll play this any day with anybody, and I guarantee you we'll have fun doing it. If you have further questions about it that I haven't presented, of course, please feel free to tell us in the comments and we'll talk more about it. Elizabeth's score, she said she'd also give this an 8. She was a big fan of how cute it was and how simple it was to learn. She also thought that the UFO was cool and that the duckies were adorable. It was a game that totally was up her alley. That being said, I've got a couple of people I wanted to talk about at the end of the video. Of course, Very Special Games. Feel free to check out their website. They've got a lot of really cool family weight games on there. That's what they specialize in. Also, if you're ever in the Bloomington, Illinois area, or if you are ordering games online, check out redraccoongames.net. Jamie is the store manager there, and it's an excellent store. And last but not least, feel free on Facebook to check out Board Game Revolution. It is a really cool Facebook group. My reviews will be posted there. You can reach out to me there anytime you want. But join the community. We have a lot of fun. That being said, thank you all very much for checking out this review. Have a wonderful day.